Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of PKM Weekly. So let's see what's been in store for us from the past week. So first up is Obsidian, and Ev posts how she turned Obsidian into her own personal AI agent OS system, building a workspace where my agent and my knowledge base can live together. And basically what she was doing before, using Claude in one window, opening files in another, copying things, pasting things everywhere, saving outputs, pulling them back in, and it was just becoming very clunky and annoying, and a lot of overhead just to switch different tools. So in this article she talks us through exactly what she's done, why she came back to Obsidian or why she's using Obsidian, a whole video of the whole setup process, so if you don't want to read you can actually check out the video, and she goes into the detail of how she gets it all done. So well worthwhile checking that one out if you haven't already. A few interesting Reddit posts on Obsidian. One was how to make Obsidian cute and functional. So OP's been using Notion, and as you can see, very pleasing on the eyes. And what they want to do is basically turn something like this, or have it something like this within Obsidian. Quite a lot of upvotes, not so many comments, but do check them out because there's some suggestions of how you might go around doing that. Another one was I went from Notion to Obsidian, and I spend more time customizing than actually writing. So this is a typical burden of Obsidian users, that they find infinite customization, plugins, etc., tweaking. So they then end up spending quite a lot of time tweaking rather than actually working. So well worthwhile having a look at this one of how OP deals with it, and other comments that have responded to OP with their thoughts and suggestions. Another one was using Obsidian for my PhD. So using Obsidian for months. Doesn't really feel like anything more than a note-taking app. Am I missing something? Are there any specific plugins or things to use? So again, if you're in the same boat, studying for a PhD or working towards a PhD or anything else, well worthwhile having a look at this one, as there's quite a lot of comments and assistance from people. That was it from Obsidian. Next up is Verso notes. So I have now actually published the whole code with the apps and everything. So you can find that here, and then you can find the releases here, download them at your own free will, play around with it, test it, let me know what you think. And there is just one caveat, that because I don't have a developer account for Apple, you just get a message saying it's damaged or it won't open in your first use. That's not the case. You just need to run this code so that it basically bypasses the non-notarized download. You've got Linux and Windows as well that you can run. Obviously you'll get the blue screen of warning on the Windows one, so just you can click around that. And basically, just as a bit of a recap, what it does and why I built it. Built it more just for fun, just to see what was happening, how I could do it and how I could leverage AI. It is all AI built. Takes a little bit of, let's say, Obsidian and Logseq together. So just as a bit of a test. You can see you've got the outliner as you would expect. You can move things up and down, basically the typical stuff, full form writing as well, and anything else that you have. You've got canvas built in to create a canvas. You've got some bases, databases as well, of various different things that you can see and how they work. Templates, journals, and pages. So basically it takes a combination of a little bit of Obsidian, a little bit of Logseq, a little bit of Tana with some super tags, which we can work through one. Let me just do one here as a bit of an example. So then we can click on New Book, and that will pull up the properties of the new book. So why did I build it? More for fun, see what AI could do and what was achievable. And also because I wanted to have things the way I wanted, rather than relying on someone else's app, someone else's server. So this is all saved locally on my own space. Let me pull that up and show you where it is. So you've got it here. There's the daily ones. And there's the one that we just created today at these three that we just created and played around with. So it is all markdown files that you have at your disposition. So please do feel free, play around with it, let me know what you think, any changes, any other things that you want to see, I'm more than happy to implement. So that was that for Verso Notes. Dotflowy is another one that I came across from one of the discords that I'm in, and basically it's an open source outline editor created with the likeness of Workflowy, but with plugin extensibility of Obsidian and the beauty of linear MCP compatible. So do check out this tweet from Cameron. He talks through the philosophy of it, how you can get started, a few hints and tips of what the app can do. And you can also test it out just by going to the link here, and you will need an account. Let me just pull that up. So, okay, I already logged in. So you can see here, basically, typical outliner. You can add things. You've got the daily plugin. You've got the calendar. Oops. So you can see your daily notes, some good stuff from Cameron there. So well worthwhile having a look at this one, seeing what you think, and giving Cameron some feedback if you enjoy it or if there's any tweaks that you want to see. So that was that for that one. Thymer, Wim showcases just how fast Thymer can be. So if you go to this post here, you can see moving things around, jumping from one page to the other at the speed of light, basically, no lag, no nothing. So that's great stuff from the Thymer team on that one. And then they did list out what they want to achieve before the beta release, and that is some UI polish, a number of areas that they want to tweak, refine, and update before they're ready to release the beta. There's also things in the pipeline that we need to release the terminal, some more improvement for outliners, and then they want to do some mobile improvements and release the iOS test flight. So it is getting closer and closer. I did see them mentioning it was going to be this summer that they're going to open up the beta, so no need for codes or anything, but well worthwhile checking that out. Join the Discord, let them know what you think, ask for an invite code, and you can get started. Tana, not much happening apart from a question and answer on long form writing. So this was Matt that responding. Long form writing, there's a question, has 359 votes, future consideration since 2023. Blah, blah, is long form still in the plans or not? And the response was outliner is still a growth area. Doc mode outliners, node-based model is fundamental. They need to do some improvements before it's released, but it is on their mind to do. So at least there is something happening within the Tana outliner app, but we shall see when that comes to fruition. Vellum, they posted some more screenshots within the Discord, and this one was around tasks and how tasks look. So it does look very pleasing on the eyes. Inbox today upcoming, you can see where it is, what's the project it relates to. You can sort it, view different ways. There is still no app, so just keep that in mind. These are only just images that the team are publishing. And if you want to see more images, you can go to the Discord. Let me just find that. You can go to the Discord, join the Discord, and see various different comments. So the devs are quite active. Grace, continuously posting, responding to questions, giving some suggestions, giving their philosophy of how Vellum will work, and some screenshots at various different places. So well worthwhile checking that one out if you want something similar to Tana and Logseq in the sense of outliner. Pricing was discussed as well. They're still working it out. They don't really have an idea of what they're going to do with it, but there will be a scholarship for anyone where cost is a barrier without any questions asked. Our goal is to make Vellum a platform that inspires others to create their own art. So we shall see what that means in terms of pricing whenever it's released. Logseq, they did a couple of updates to the roadmap. So server, RESTful API and MCP support, Logseq Chat GPT plugin. Logseq Pro is actually being worked on, as well as a two-way sync between Markdown and the DB graph. This one is actually already in testing, and it does look very impressive. The rest, well, Logseq Pro, is good to see that they've actually started on that one. And this was staging a custom GPT plugin with Chat GPT. So it's Tenson that posted it, summarised me, Andrew Kelly's blog post. That's done. It's summarised MCP, showing my journal, and it basically pulls things in from your Logseq graph. So interesting to see how that's going to work out in the future. Capacities, they've got quite a few updates, API 2.0, web link, presentation mode, etc. So they've now got Media 2.0 roadmap. With the AI on desktop, you can analyze web links, open a clean reader, and highlight passages with annotations. We've also shipped presentation mode, so that's something that you can play around with, and then there's various different other extras that the team have implemented. Well worthwhile having a look at the full release notes, because you can see there is quite a lot there that they have implemented and released. So well worthwhile checking that one out. Octarine version 0.47.2, that's out. So priority, snooze, and done, redone controls, that's in your inbox. Inbox items can now be appended, tag selection, note pop-outs, and larger workspaces, so some performance improvements as well on Octarine. And on top of that, Rajat's released the skills that you can implement within your Octarine notes. So quick install, and then you can see the skills that are available within it. So if you're interested, have a look at that one, and you can see the full write-up here of what it can do. So some good stuff from Octarine this week. And last but not least is Outl.app. A few updates, template engine that's been set up, configurable backlinks with sort order, and there's the Obsidian Vault importer. And on top of that, Avellino's posted a blog post of 2 to-date pages debugging a bug I couldn't inspect. So he just basically talks through his journey of using the app and some of the things that he's encountering and how he's getting around to fixing it. So some great stuff from Outl on this week's release. So that was it. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next week. Bye.